I have to introduce myself.
We almost never do that, but yeah, you should.
All of us or just me?
No,
Is the
just you, you know.
okay? I'm Jeannie Martin, co-chair of the Needham Commission on Disabilities, and we are about to start our April meeting. The first item on the agenda under co-chairperson's report is an update on the NCOD orientation. It is set for May 24th, and
Oh.
Carol wanted me to ask if 5:30 works for everyone, the same as our, it'll be via Zoom. Does 5:30 work?
Yep.
Yeah, good for me.
And
I
we're
will send that
designing
Zoom
it.
link later.
I'm
I will
sorry.
be on vacation, but I might be able to get in on the Zoom call.
Okay, well, we put it together with the 3 new members in mind, but certainly everyone is welcome to attend. And I think it's interesting. I'm learning things as I'm preparing for the orientation. So it's good for all of us, I think, to get a review of some of these things. But I'll let Carol know that 5:30 works on May 24th.
And I will send that Zoom link for that specific meeting.
Great. One of the things I learned as I was researching the history of NCOD, you know, I talked to Elaine, who was a member right from the start in 1996. And she said, originally it was a 5-member panel. And one of them I don't know what the right word is, but you know, the board of the select board was then called the Board of Selectmen. They required that one of the members be a member of the clergy. And they in fact had a member of the clergy, she couldn't remember who it was, that attended the meetings. And then soon after they went up to 9 members, and eventually the clergy person was not involved, but they were involved for a few years. But anyway, it made me think maybe we should be reaching out and see if there's a member of the clergy who would like to join us. What do you all think of that?
What was the reasoning for having a member of the clergy before? Did she offer?
It was the select board who thought it was a good idea. But it is a great way to reach out and, you know, because they would report back to their group. You know, they meet as the clergy in town meet. I don't know how often they meet, maybe once a month. I'm not sure, but it would be a way to get things out to the churches and synagogues and, you know, other places of worship in town. I don't know if any of them feel like they would have the time to join us, but I thought it was kind of an interesting idea.
Do we have like a board charter? So on other boards that I sit on, we have kind of the different types of involvement that we need to make it, you know, equitable and cross different kind of use cases. So I wasn't sure, so I know we have that open seat. What are we searching for? Like, do we need to have someone in the board who's visually impaired because we don't have that? Like I think we have to look at the makeup and then see if clergy would fit.
Right. Well, technically we're in violation of our bylaws because of the 9 members, we are required to have a majority of whom are either a person with a disability or, well, this is what's not clear, a parent of a person with, or a family member of a person with a disability. But we went around in circles about this before, not sure if the family member can count towards the 5 that need to be a person with disability. But even with that, we're not at 5. Well, maybe we are.
I thought we did. And didn't we have a conversation with, I don't know if we had the conversation with MOD or if I just had it internally with town officials, in which I said, you know, we have interested parties. Do we actually need to abide by that rule if we have, you know, if it's not an exact majority, but we have a good number of members who are either disabled or they are the parent of a disabled child? And I thought I thought that that was the answer was favorable, that, yeah, you know, we
The
have
answer
concerned citizens.
is you can fill the spot if you are not able to find a person with a disability.
Yep.
But if a person with a disability applies to be a member and is appropriate, they would kick someone else. Someone would have to give up
Oh.
their seat
Oh, no.
to allow the person with a disability if we're not at the quota.
That,
But we have the people with disabilities are Babs,
I was just gonna say me.
Debbie,
me.
Just just three.
3. You know, I wear hearing aids, but that's really, my hearing loss is nothing like Babs. So it's kind of a stretch
Thank you.
for me to say that I'm a person with a disability, but I guess technically we could say that.
Then I think we should try to not go in the clergy direction. Then I feel like we should go by the bylaws and try to find either parents that could be vocal advocates because they're dealing with a child that has a really prevalent disability that needs adaptive, I don't know, considerations, and or adults, and we can spread that message. I know I owed you an answer about social media reach out, and I talked to some of the selectmen and people in the, what do you call it, the meeting members? I don't know, what's the official word? I didn't have that where I
The
grew up. Town
the
meeting
me-
members.
Town meeting, yeah.
Yeah,
Representative town meeting, yep.
Representatives. So there's 2 ways that we can do it. We can post in all of the special need groups. We can post on the Needham government Facebook page. We can post in the Needham town page, which has better reach. And then we can get the word out once they compile the meeting list, and they can do an all staff distribution list to the selectmen and the town meeting members to disseminate this desire. But the way that is best to do it is to say we are actively seeking individuals with disabilities. That would include blank, or, you know, parents or living in the same home caretakers of somebody with a physical need. Because I was imagining someone that has a life partner or an elderly person they've been caring for should probably count as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the posting on Needham, on the Needham website, I don't believe it specifies that. So that could be, that's easy to adjust, but you're saying we should probably actively pursue social media?
Correct.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure I understand what the criteria was.
it's any disability, so we don't have to recruit for, you know, to make sure we have covered a wide range of disabilities.
I think we have to, this is a little awkward, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think we have to be a little bit careful though. If we go out and actively recruit people with disabilities, then I think that we've got to make sure that we're keeping that consideration in play. I mean, I know I was the last one to be approved and the only one with a disability when we were going through this process, which just felt a little strange given that this is a council on disabilities. Yet I feel like I got more scrutiny than everybody else, which felt a bit didn't feel like it was part of the charter.
Mhm.
So I think if we are going out and putting our foot forward and saying we're actively recruiting people with disabilities, then we need to make sure that we're managing that process accordingly.
Well, we can't. That's managed by the select board. They actually, which I was surprised as well, but the select board and the office of the town manager sort of handle that whole process of bringing people in. We are just, and I wasn't even, but like, I think the chairs are only brought in for like the interview, but like that whole thing is dictated by the select board.
Interesting.
I imagine we could advise them about,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the makeup of the committee and what it is that we're looking for, and where, to your point, Karen, sort of the gaps are in the matrix and makeup of the committee.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was actually surprised myself because I always thought that it would be the chairs appointing the new members, but it's actually the select board, the member of the select board that's appointed with this responsibility. Which I think it was Mary Ann at the time that you guys were.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
So do we need to reach out other than the
I mean,
town?
social media should be, you're gonna get better reach. That Needham, you know, the Needham like public Facebook page.
Yeah,
That's like the one that everyone, the one that's always controversy on. That one has much better reach because even like college kids that move away still read that for fun.
okay, but
would
that's
you be
not-
willing to post something
Yeah,
there?
no, I'll post it. I just want to make sure I've got the language correct of like what we're searching for. Cause I feel like I don't want to leave a group out or say something that's not PC. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to phrase that or who, if I draft
we can
something,
use-
Jeannie, can you
We
read it?
could
Or
use the same wording that Tatiana is using on the town site, right?
Yeah, so like I said, we've had a posting before. It's basically just ask for a you know, for a person. But now that I'm looking at the way that they're posting it, and my apologies, because we just, as you all know, we just went through a whole new website revamp.
Yeah.
So I'm still like, but it looks like what they do is they just tell you what the vacancy is, and then when you're going to click on the commission, it brings you to our page, to the Commission on Disabilities page. So I thought that before we actually posted the position, much like a job posting.
Yeah,
So I have to double check on that to see why we're doing it this way. But yeah, to your point, Karen, I can find the actual wording that we've used before. And then maybe we can just, like you said, like, you know, maybe encourage people with disabilities or who are, you know, who have family members who are disabled to apply rather than say we're seeking justice. But yeah, maybe that way. But let me find the language that we have used in the past for member posting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would there be other towns that have it on their website or on their page? I mean, that have Commission on Disabilities? Are there other towns that would have that sort of thing, as you say, social
I
media?
guess so. I have not ever looked at other towns'
Mm.
websites.
I'm gonna look at Framingham because I know they do have a robust, very active Commission on Disability.
See what their wording is like or how they approach?
Mm.
Well, one thing we have discovered, you know, again, in my research, we're trying to track down the bylaws. When the commission was formed in 1996, the group of five established bylaws with the Board of Selectmen. And
you guys, this is what, this is how I've seen other people post it when they shared it in like the special education. I don't know if this is where you saw it, Alexa, but this is where I saw it for the first time.
Which is the two spots.
oh, and what website is this?
This is a closed Facebook group for parents of kids in like special ed in Needham. So it's
I
like the
see.
Needham CPAC parent group.
Oh,
Never heard of it.
That's not where I saw it, but that seems like a logical place to post
Yeah.
it.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we'll
So
just
what
get
about the schools?
Let me just finish this
Yeah.
thought.
Okay.
So the group of five, the original group of five, they established bylaws and they were approved by the Board of Selectmen and they are now missing. And no one seems to know where they are. So I've been in touch with Jeff Dugan at the
MOD.
Massachusetts Office on Disability, MOD, because they would have to have a copy of them as well. And so far, he hasn't found them either. So
Oh, my.
I don't think we need to redo them.
I
but
don't know
it would
that they
be
were
nice to
ever
have them.
bylaws. I know that we follow the state, and actually I'm looking at Framingham's and they have the same language that we've been using. Is a majority of the members shall consist of people with disabilities. One may be a member of the immediate family of a person with a disability. One member shall be either an elected or appointed official of the city. So, and it's the same language that we're using.
Yeah.
So I knew that we were following the state language. So I don't know if they were ever bylaw.
Yeah, well,
se.
the MOD has what they have established as a sample kind of
Mhm.
boilerplate for bylaws. And
Mhm.
we can assume that that's
Oh, no.
what we're following, but it would be nice if we could come up with the ones that were actually written and agreed upon, 20 years ago, 24, 26 years ago. Anyway, that's another issue that's being worked on. Eventually they'll turn up, I think. Okay, so if you, Karen, can get together with Tatiana and
I'll
get the,
send you the
and then we'll
wording.
post in some other places and that might help us. Sounds,
Perfect. I'll type something up and then maybe I can show it to you should show everybody to see if we approve it, get it posted.
great.
I'll do it right now during the meeting. Okay.
Okay, next up is the minutes, which were sent out last week, I think. I noticed just one error, and it was she had the wrong last name for Dale. I forget what it said, Dale
Campbell, yeah, I see it. Dale Campbell.
McIntosh or something.
It says Dale Campbell.
Campbell, yeah.
Oh,
I'm not sure where that came from. His last name is Wise, W-I-S-E. But other than that, they looked fine to me. Did anyone else have any suggestions, changes, omissions from the minutes?
No.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept them with the correction to Dale's last name?
I make a motion to accept the minute.
And second,
Second.
in favor,
I
opposed? Okay, good. We move on to Tatiana. Got 9 minutes left.
I got 9 minutes left. Okay, so I have a couple of things. First, a quick one is that the chat feature has been enabled on our Zoom account so that, when Debbie comes
Oh.
back, she should be able to use it to communicate with us. So that's a quick one. I also heard from the school department, they are planning on submitting a grant request. Trish McMullen, who was our former liaison to the school department, is actually going to be working on that. They're looking for some more equipment for the high school. And Trish is actually away this week. She's in Portugal, but she's going to be submitted that upon her return. So I told her that I would just like to present it to the commission for the May meeting. So she knows that, and she's hopefully going to submit it before then for your consideration. It will be best if she sends it, if it's submitted in May and review in May, so we can close out the year with the grant. So that's that. And then we do need to talk about really quickly the celebration on May 3rd. I'm actually glad Corinne's not here because I just wanted to give you an update. The Braille plaque for Manny has been ordered. I don't know if it's going to be here on time because that's, everybody's having problems with, materials and people's times and factories and everything. But I've asked her to expedite the shipment if available. And the plaques for Dale and Corinne have also been ordered. And I also asked for expedited shipping on that one. That is going to eat up most of our budget for this year, but I think we're going to make it. So if there are any other requests for any other purchases before the end of the year, please let me know so I can calculate whether we can afford it. But those are all set. We do want to talk about like the food and all of that stuff. I don't know if you guys had anything planned. Yes, Bab.
I was going to recommend we get pizza from Pizza Hut and salad. What do you think?
Yeah, from Pizza Hut though? I don't think we have one nearby.
The Hut. I may not be
Oh,
pronouncing it
Hearth.
right.
I'm sorry.
I call it the Pizza Hut. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, don't we want to go local?
You do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's yeah, beautiful. Let's give the business to a local business for sure.
I
We love
didn't-
that idea.
I'm sorry, I didn't pronounce it right.
No, you're fine.
Yeah,
You're fine.
I think that's fine. We've actually
what do you
done that
think?
before.
Yeah, he's such a good guy. I
Yeah,
would,
great guy.
And I'd be happy to pick it up if you like. If, do we have money for that, Tatiana? You said we're running low.
We
So how does
don't. I
that
am.
work?
I'm going to. I haven't gotten a final quote on the Braille. As you guys know, the Braille one is the most expensive one. I think it's to the tune of $200, if not more than that. So I'll have to wait and see what we have, and then I have to seek permission to buy food with the rest of the budget. But
Okay.
we can plan on that. I do
I
want.
can charge it to me and I'll be happy to wait until the next fiscal year. No
Yeah,
problem.
if not, maybe we can all, throw in some money.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I'm happy to
it
chip in
won't be more
also.
than $20 per person. If we just get in like salad and pizza and I can pick up drinks like that's, I think that we can, it's manageable.
I'll get that, Tatiana. You're busy. You're
What
busy. I
about
can do
paper
that.
goods?
I
We're
have
starting
paper
that-
goods here. I'm loaded with paper goods here.
Oh, you're loaded with paper goods? That's
I'm
awesome,
loaded
Beth.
with them.
I
Yeah.
love that.
If
Is
you
there-
want.
Is there anything else we're forgetting?
The restaurant may be able to provide the paper goods too.
Something
Okay.
like that.
Do we need a cake or cookies
Mm-hmm.
for dessert? A sheet cake or, I was thinking finger food as much as possible.
Could
Make it
I
easier.
just have you guys vote to empower the chair to authorize me to spend the budget on food if there's any budget to be spent?
Who does that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jeannie, can you
So
call
we need a
motion?
motion
Mhm.
to empower me to spend the money.
Yes, to allow me to spend the
I
money.
make the motion for Tatiana to spend the money. Did I say it
No.
right?
Or Jeannie to authorize me
me.
to spend the
Oh,
money.
okay.
Just because we're not gonna meet up before that next meeting, and
Yeah.
if in order for me to be able to spend the money, I need you guys to authorize Jeannie.
Okay, okay.
So we
All
have a
in
motion.
favor? Opposed? Great, okay.
All right.
So now we're deciding whether we need a cake or not, or,
A sheet cake? Would you want a sheet cake? I'm happy to pick it up from BJ's.
well, how many
or-
of, there's going to be maybe 10?
Is that
people?
all? That's it? Just
10?
10? Do
Well,
people need to RSVP?
So Susan Rains is gonna make it.
oh, good.
I did
Well,
not
maybe-
hear from Sue. Did Sue reply that she
Sue
will make
Kroll,
it? Yeah, I don't recall. I don't know if anyone has her personal information. I only have emails.
I don't. Actually, Elaine must, I think she talks to.
Elaine's
Sue
coming.
Kroll. So I'll reach out to Elaine and see if I can get Sue's phone number.
Yeah, that'll be because I don't think I've heard from her.
What about,
Bruce can
Bruce?
come. No, he has one of his employees is leaving, and they're having their own celebration. So he
Okay.
thinks he should attend that. And then he's us, Dale, he said he was gonna do everything he can to be.
His wife, you want to invite his wife too?
Yeah,
Well,
I
Dale
can make that
will-
clear to him.
Dale is quite ill, so he will need someone to bring him. It will be either his wife or his son.
Okay,
He's going through chemo right now.
all right.
He's
And then
having-
I also
Karen,
emailed Julie, but I think Julie's is not here. I did send it to Andy as well, but I haven't heard back from him either.
and Karen,
Jordan.
Kelly, and Alexa, will you guys be coming?
Time and location again?
Will you be coming, will you be attending on May 3rd?
What's
It's,
the time and location again?
On Tuesday, May 3rd at 4 p.m.
Like 4 to 5:30, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's very short, 4 to 5:30.
Mhm.
I have meetings till 5, from 3 to 5, so that's and yeah, probably not gonna happen. Look at my calendar.
Okay,
Yeah,
we will miss
Tu-
you.
Tuesday,
Does
Tuesday,
the-
May 3rd.
did we choose 4 because the
That,
senior center closes?
at 5:30.
Oh,
I could probably come for the last half hour. I have the same situation. I have a call that goes till 5:15 every Tuesday.
Hmm.
Yeah, so,
Darn it. Um,
What are you thinking?
we already
I
told
think,
everyone. So.
I don't know for Alexa, but meetings are crazy right now. So I would not, if it's going to be early, I would not try to work around my calendar because my calendar's brutal.
Yeah.
Alexa's is probably similar.
Yeah,
well,
same.
do we
I
want
wonder
to
if
try and
they
have it?
allow us to stay a little bit. I mean, I wonder if we could request they allow us to stay for an extra half hour or something.
Okay.
They will. They will. I stay late. There's the janitor that's there when I teach the crafts with the seniors once a month. I always go over my time. The admin's gone, but the janitor is there, and he'll let us stay.
Should we
Oh.
start at 4:30 then instead?
4:30 to
I
6
would,
o'clock?
What, Tatiana?
do you think it will be okay to send everyone an email and say, hey, actually, we're starting at 4:30 instead?
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna check my
Did
calendar.
you
because
send
I
an
don't
email
remember.
out? 'Cause
I sent
didn't
an
get
email
one.
out to
Am I
the
invited?
non-members. You are invited, but you were here in the conversations. No, I sent an email
Yeah.
out to the
I
people
just
that,
burnt
that
the
are not.
pizza. I burned
Yeah,
dinner.
to the people that are not in the meeting. So like the members that we're honoring who are no longer here, and
Yeah.
the past members that were
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
But I can
I was just
send a
gonna
new
ask if you were gonna
reminder.
come, Kelly. It's
Yeah.
4 to 5:30. So what you want to do 4:30 to 6? You want me to ask Aisha if we can do 4:30 to 6?
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they'd be fine with it, and especially if I stay there and lock up, which I have. I'm usually like the last ones out. So I think they'll be fine.
Okay.
What about, I just thought, what about Officer
Harmon,
Harmon?
you can
He's,
invite him.
he's retired, right?
Yes.
We should probably reach out. Do you have an email? Because I think all we had was reaching him through the police station. Do you have any way to reach
I
out to
can
him?
reach, yes. So whatever information you have that you sent to me, I can forward and invite
I'm
him.
gonna send a new email to everyone, including the honorees, and remind them of the party, give them the new time, and then you can forward that on to Carl if you have a way to get in touch with him.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll get a number and then we'll know how much pizza to get.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, that's good. I'll get a sheet cake. Is that all right? Okay.
yeah, I would think we're going to be maybe 15 to 20 people at most now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a huge crowd. And the last thing I have to share before I go is the accessibility conversation we had about the town buildings and playgrounds. I know that this is something that we're trying to
Yeah.
look into.
Yes, I just yeah.
Yep. So I forward the information. Sorry, I just got it today, so that's when I'm forwarding it to you. So you might need some time to digest it. But that is an assessment that was made by a certified playground specialist, Nancy White, who actually worked for the town of Needham years and years ago as a park and recreation director. And she compiled a list of all of the priorities per playground that need to be addressed, which the Park and Recreation Department has been for years slowly chipping away at in order to increase not only accessibility, but also, the features and other accommodations. I had a conversation with my building maintenance director and the building design and construction department about accessibility in our buildings. And at first they said, yes, all of our buildings are accessible with the exception of Emery Grover, which we know, which is going to actually be undergoing renovations, and the Hillside, the old Hillside School, which is no longer in use for public education, is actually used as swing space. But There is a plan for the school administration to go into the hillside building after the police moves out and while their building is renovated. So there is a possibility that the public may need to access that building. So again, those are the two locations that wouldn't be accessible. However, in the same conversation, the building department stated that they cannot make a blanket statement about all of the buildings being accessible, because even though we have mostly new construction that complies with ADA accessibility, we are not complying in every disability, if that makes sense. So like the building is not engineered to accommodate visually impaired people. It is not geared to accommodate neurological disabilities. So they caution me against making a blank statement and saying our buildings are accessible, because yeah, for mobility purposes they are, but there are other disabilities that are not addressed. And so yes, if there's something that the commission feels that the town should be working towards, they definitely want to have that feedback. It's just as with everything, try to figure out when and how to fit it. So I thought that was a fair conversation. I feel like in the past we have heavily concentrated on mobility disabilities, but not so much the neurological or visually impaired or hearing impaired, for sure, because that's like the easy grab, right? Like that's the low hanging fruit. So I think that's a fair answer from the building department. Like don't make a blank statement. We have a long way to go still.
Right.
Tatiana, is there like a cheat sheet where you could get up to speed on like what those are? Like, I don't even know that I know all of the different, like, how do you figure out what are all the,
I think that's just so wide.
Okay.
Just after
Is it the
having
universal design standards or something?
Yeah, I guess. So I guess that would involve like just from working on the accessible trail rail that's behind the public services. Like we did so much with the visual impairment. On that, there were ropes, there's visual, there's a high contrast announcements that were going at one point, and I don't know if that actually came to fruition, but they were going to do like those virtual boards that talk back to you. So if you wanted to say like, where am I on the trail, it would actually tell you, but I don't think that came to fruition. They're like some of the playgrounds, like, the director, the Park and Recreation director offer, some of them do address some neurological and psychomotion disabilities, because they have quiet spaces, they have, they have the floor not being loud, it like doesn't trigger like certain noises, but it's not 100%, right?
Okay.
So that's a conversation I honestly, Karen, wouldn't even know where to begin.
Okay.
But that's it's a good thing to start educating ourselves on, like what else is there that can be done?
Yeah, one place to look is if you go on the Mass Office on Disabilities site, I believe there's a section devoted to what they call community access monitor training.
Oh, yes.
And there will be a very long assessment that you learn to go through when you train to be a monitor. But as I remember, there is kind of a shortened, right, Babs, a shortened
Yes.
kind of cheat sheet
Yes.
to do a quick
I'll check
survey
that.
of buildings. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it recently, but I think it's there on their website.
It is.
And it's
Again,
under the,
I want to say that that's also mobility, heavily focused on mobility.
yes, it
But
is.
to your point, attending those sessions, you're not able to wear perfume or any
Okay.
odor or scent or anything like that.
Right.
So, and I don't know what that is, but I'm sure that is to address someone's disability in the room. So there must be something there that we're not aware of. So, like there's a lot of different things that we probably could be educating ourselves better about. And on the playgrounds, like I said, they have an initiative to work on those priorities as identified by the analysis. And I know that we have 2 playgrounds that are fully accessible, the Williams School and the Newman School. They're open to the public after hours. and the green field will be resurfaced, and so will become accessible in early July.
Nice.
The information I forward to you guys is that assessment along with a list of the priorities. And, again, as with everything, it's a matter of time and money. But at least we know where the priorities are.
Should
that
we
would
be encouraging Park and Rec to apply for our funds to help with some of this?
Yes, so
What's-
I do remind, them periodically that we have money. Unfortunately, that kind of money that we can award really wouldn't be able to fund any of this. I mean, these are major infrastructure initiatives, right? So some of the wish list is having like a fully accessible swing where you can stay in your chair, having some of those boards that talk back to you, having maybe some visually impaired structures or things that help with those neurological disabilities that we were talking about. So they're big asks. They're not.
Would we ever help? You have to go. Don't want to stop. Don't you have to leave at 6? We're going to keep.
Yeah,
asking.
I know, but it's okay. I'm watching I was being conservative.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, do we want to help like enact some semblance of a fundraiser or something to do some of that? Because I feel like if you got it into the right hands of people in town, you could probably motivate parents who would activate their own communities to make sure that they could have an accessible swing for a wheelchair. And that would be a really cool thing for Needham to have, like a truly accessible playground.
Yeah.
And even, with sight and tactile functions, I feel like you could raise that money if they needed it.
I don't doubt it. I think that the Park and Recreation Commission is heavily involved in this. And I did suggest to the director of Park and Recreation that they reach out to this commission so that we can collaborate, or like at least provide some feedback. I hear what you're saying. I think that's a great initiative. I don't know. I don't know if the fundraising alone is the obstacle, but that's
I don't think it's
definitely-
our responsibility.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's not to say that we have to take it on and raise the money ourselves, but just helping them understand, like, if they put it in the right hands, if you disseminate the information to enough people that care, you could probably find parents who would undertake that effort themselves for the purpose of their children. And even looking at when Greenest Field was first done, they were selling those like boards, right? You could carve your family name into the board. I think I have one. I don't even remember. But I mean, they raised like, I don't know, a few $100,000, like not easily.
Yeah.
Or businesses in town that have been
exactly.
very supportive of some of
Yeah.
these initiatives.
Even just like company matches from individual donors, like if someone's donating, they can get their employer to match.
Yeah.
I can certainly ask if there will be an interest in that. I personally think that the Park and Recreation Commission should take that on. I mean, it
Yes.
is within their purview.
Yes.
But I will ask certainly whether that's
I-
something that will be desirable.
Yeah, I think we can just emphasize with them how important we think it is for this to happen,
Mhm.
and that we're willing to help make it happen, help brainstorm how to make it happen
Yep.
if they choose to go that route.
Yeah, but at least, they're working on Greenfield, and like I said, they have a list of priorities, so hopefully some of those get addressed.
Yeah, I encourage you, I just went quickly, spent 10, 15 minutes on this survey that Tatiana set out to us tonight. I encourage you all to look at it in detail. There's an incredible amount of information there.
Yeah.
Although it was done in
Very
2020,
thorough. Yeah.
so some things may have been changed, but there's some alarming things they noticed that need attention
Yeah,
on
I
our
mean,
playground.
the Fazio and Perry Park are a hot mess, and those are really
Yeah,
the two that most people with toddlers use. Now they use Greenest because it had a fence, but if you had a
Mhm.
runner, those
Yeah.
Perry Park doesn't have a fence either. So I mean, I had a runner, so I mean, I know I'm not a good runner, so it was
You know
problematic.
the ones with fences, right? When you have a
Yeah, I
runner.
knew the ones with fences. I mean,
That's funny.
yeah, so take a look at those, and I think there's a lot of potential there for us to work with Park and Rec in the future. We'll let you go, Tatiana, on that note.
Just
Yeah,
one
thank you so
clarification
much.
for the
Yes.
notes, sorry. The,
Mhm.
did you say that both Hillside and the Emory Building had planned revisions, or was it just one?
No, just Emory Grover is it's scheduled to be renovated.
Just that
So,
one, and then
yeah,
Hillside as
so-
well, or no?
No, we
Okay.
don't know what's happening with Hillside. Like I said, they're
Mm.
going to use it as swing space for the school administration when Emory Grover is going through the renovations. But I don't believe there's any plans to convert that into anything just yet. All right. Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, everybody. Sorry.
Thank you,
Have a good
Tatiana.
vacation.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Oh, and
Um,
Karen, let me just make you full host.
Yeah. It's still recording.
Yes, it's still recording. Okay.
Okay, I'm the
thank
host.
you.
It worked. Good job.
Bye.
I'm not sure there's a lot more because our updates.
I
I'm not-
did type up that Facebook post that I could show you guys for approval, and we could use this if you guys want
Okay,
that. Trying to, so the need, open seat available. The Needham Commission on Disabilities is seeking a new member to serve a 2-year term. We are actively seeking disabled residents as our first priority, with secondary consideration for family members of the disabled who live in town per our charter. The board serves to give grants with handicap parking fees, conduct building site visits for accessibility, and consult on town issues such as the the town of Needham Parks and Recreation Playground Renovation Project. Meetings are held the third Tuesday of every month on Zoom. Candidates are interviewed by the commission and the town select board. Here's the link.
Very nice.
the Zoom. I think Zoom is going to end. Well,
Oh, no.
I think this, the town, I think there was something from Tatiana in an email that it was likely to end in July. I mean, when we won't be meeting, but well, I guess we can deal with that later. Because who knows what September will bring, but we may be meeting in person in September.
We could though decide to keep it on Zoom, couldn't we? If it's easier. for-
Apparently, we don't have that choice, which I think is horrible.
No, that doesn't seem to make sense.
I know, we went around, Tatiana tried to explain it a few months back, that it's something about the way the town is set up. They won't allow us to meet remotely.
Well, I mean, okay, we can, I guess. we
I
can
know.
out. Babs and I could say that it's really inequitable if we have to meet in person, because it's a true travesty for the folks that have a challenge. Therefore, we have to keep it accessible for all. I don't know.
No, I would do anything I could to keep that option open. I think it makes sense. I
Well,
mean,
maybe
it
that
can be a hybrid.
Yeah,
where we have
seriously.
in person and Zoom.
Totally.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll have to see where that goes. I think for now, this posting should say Zoom because that's how we're meeting now.
Okay.
My only
I like
question
it.
about it is, well, I guess we are seeking someone with a disability, but if someone is interested who is not disabled, we need to consider them as well, because we may not be able to come up with a person with disabilities. So I don't know if we want to reflect that in the wording or anyone
Well, I
have
have our
thoughts?
first priority and our second priority. I mean, if that's the charter, I feel like that's what you're supposed to say. But let's say all does that need to be softened more?
Yeah, because you're saying priority, secondary can, yeah. I'm okay with that.
I like how it's written.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we want it to be a family member, or should it be a caregiver? Does it matter?
Oh,
Oh,
good point. Good
You
point.
caregiver?
well, I
Staff.
think it should be family member / caregiver,
Yeah, because I mean,
because
that might be insulting for, I don't know, like if maybe if you're visually impaired, you wouldn't want to be considered needing care. You just, I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
It's always tough to phrase these things and not say something that insults somebody.
I think family members is suitable for now. We can always change it, right?
And I think you took out the word a, to a family member.
The secondary, wait, with secondary for,
Okay, we're trying to be politically correct, and we should actually say seeking people, residents with disabilities,
oh, you're actively seeking.
rather than disabled residents.
Oh, okay. Residents with this.
And then similarly, the family member of a person with a disability. So they're identified as a person first and having a disability second.
Thank you.
Ooh,
And I
good
think you
word.
took out the word seeking inadvertently here. We are actively.
We are actively residents. We're actively. Oh my God, group typing. It's I feel very stressed. Okay. See a new member. They're actively seeking residents with disabilities as a first priority, with secondary consideration for a family member of a person with a disability who lives in town, just to make it clear, right? Because we want them to be local.
Yes,
And do you want to say Needham resident
lives in Needham instead of town, yeah.
or Needham resident?
Oh, you mean earlier in the sentence, we're actively seeking Needham residents?
Yeah, a Needham
Yeah.
resident.
And then you can take this,
Yeah,
you can.
okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Really nice. Really nice.
Post. There we go. And then I'm gonna get that in a lot of the other groups. I'll do
Great.
that tonight.
Really nice.
Okay, so if we go to our updates, the school department, we heard that there is probably a grant application coming down to us, which is great. I haven't heard anything from Debbie about the parking. I know last month she said she was going to be sending a follow-up letter. And Kelly, what have you seen at the Dunkin' Donuts? Any improvement there? You're muted.
I drive by that Dunkin' Donuts 3, 4, 5 times a day, and I notice that nobody has removed the sign that I placed properly back in its position.
Good.
I drive by it, I look, and there's nobody in that spot. And if they do, I stop. That's all, all I can do. I don't know if Debbie did write a letter, but it looks like it's getting better.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay. Are there other places in town that you've noticed that there tend to be violations?
CVS
I
is
think
sometimes
the
bad.
other Dunkin' Donuts on Highland Ave, a lot of people try to run in there real quick. Same issue. I'm just gonna go in there real quick and grab my coffee and leave, That's the only one that I know of, other 2 Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay,
They started
Sometimes-
guarding the ones at Mitchell during pick up and drop off. Like they have the school secretary out there because so many people had been violating.
Yes, I
Good.
actually was assigned to the Mitchell School about 4 or 5 months ago, giving warnings to all the parents in the
Right.
parking
Great
lot,
job.
writing. They were just dropping their kids off, and they didn't realize there was a handicap or zone for the handicap vehicles. So I issued a lot of tickets. I received a
Ooh.
lot of backslash from the
Ooh.
parents. The principal received a lot of arguments. It wasn't pretty.
But you
Well,
did the right thing, because there's actually a little boy now at the school with the wheelchair and a teacher in a wheelchair, so they can't, and there's only like 3 spots, so
Right,
they
right.
can't be taking them. I know, because Heidi came after me one time when I was picking up, and then she was like, "Oh, okay, you're fine." Like,
Yeah, I mean, and it's amazing that the people actually think they have an argument to park
No.
there, and they're allowed. So what the principal did, he did not allow any more parking back there at one time.
Yeah, he did. He
For
really shut
teachers
it down.
only. So whether he eased off on that a little bit, I do not know. I do not know. But then now we're having an issue at the Newman School in the preschool area in the back for drop off. There's 3 handicap designated areas, and they're doing the same thing, dropping their kids off, walking, coming back. So I'm dealing with that issue now.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. And they're clearly posted in signs and marked.
I
It's
mean,
just
if those get bad, we could communicate, like do another posting in like the Needham Town Facebook group or in some of the
Mhm.
school groups, and just talk about, like, in one of the nonprofits I work for, like there's a lot of parents that have kids with special needs, and it's really hard, right? I mean,
Mhm.
you can't get the chairs, you can't get automatic chairs out the door if people park in those spots. So
Oh,
I think
exactly. Mhm.
a lot of typically functioning people don't realize until they've been in that experience with someone. So okay, we could always socialize some of those stories. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
if that keeps
I say-
happening, Kelly.
Give
Yeah,
more
I mean, I
tickets. We
give
can
them
use the money.
warnings.
But
What's
that's,
that?
I think we start with a gentle reminder to people,
Yeah.
Yes.
appear to their better selves about
Mhm.
thinking about this before they park.
Yeah.
I mean, I have issued maybe 3 parking tickets myself. I know one of my crossing guards, that's called the parking enforcement. They've issued 1 or 2, probably this month. I do like to give them a quick warning first. And if I see them there again, they get a ticket,
Yeah.
you know?
Good.
Maybe if we do something that if we get those funds, right, that come from the schools, all that money is going to be donated to the playground renovations.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that money goes straight to the commission, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll give it straight to Parks and Rec to build a better playground.
Yeah. I believe they're doing Claxton over right now.
Yes.
So there's another playground.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
that got a very bad rating on this,
Yeah.
on the report that it's in your mailbox. Okay. Check. Diversity initiative, I don't know of anything. Carol didn't say anything was coming up. And then the emergency planning, we sent out the minutes of that meeting. I just realized now, Alexa, that you asked me a question about something that he had said prior to the meeting. I
I
can't
think
remember.
this one, they were like changing the date and the location, and they made it 2 hours because they were doing a detailed review of planning, succession planning and emergency, sort of the
Yeah.
SOP documents. So I think that was,
That was it?
yeah.
Okay. I know you asked me a question and I never answered it. I just realized that now, but if that's all it was. But I did read the minutes. I didn't see anything earth-shattering in the minutes. So the next meeting, will you be able to go to the May meeting?
Maybe that was the question, whether they're moving permanently going forward or if they're going back to,
Oh, okay.
so I'll check the minutes because usually at the end they list it.
And if you're not able to go, we do get the minutes, so it's not, we still have a way to find out what they're discussing and what would be relevant to us. So don't worry about it if you can't go. Any other issues that need addressing?
The downtown streetscape was on the agenda, I think. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you know what, because it shouldn't be there.
Okay.
When I do the agenda, I copy it over from previous months. And that's from an old one. I don't think that committee exists anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my mistake. Anything else? Okay, so we'll see you all. I know this time adjustment probably doesn't help you much, but maybe it helps a little for Alexa and Karen if you are able to join us on the May 3rd. If not, I'm really sorry that
Okay.
we didn't consult you before picking that time. I'm not sure why we decided to have it so early. Does anyone else remember?
Because the center closes.
Oh, that's
early.
right. It was because of the center closing.
And
It-
we picked the center because we could, hopefully the weather will be warm enough that we will be able to go on the rooftop patio.
That's nice.
But
I
there
will-
will
I
be a room available for us if not.
I'll do my best. It also, we have soccer and practices are changing every week, and I never know what day they're gonna be in softball. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a game that night. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Okay,
It's a busy,
Okay.
it's a busy time of the year. It's a busy time
Mhm.
of the year. Yeah, for the kids. Yeah.
okay.
Kelly, what do you, actually have a question. Kelly, what do you teach at the senior center?
I do crafts with the cop every once a month.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great class. And last class we had 22 seniors.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
awesome.
it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, I literally teach the class in full uniform.
That's so cool.
Because I'm coming right off the street and I run to the center and I do that. Yeah. Mhm.
That's awesome.
And I
Kelly-
also do another program at the center too. We do community outreach. We have luncheons with the housing authority and new seniors. We try to bring more seniors in. And yeah, I'm busy there. I'm the liaison there, so I'm always there.
That's awesome.
Just
Mhm.
one quick question as we get into softball season, so I don't get in trouble again this year. You know that one field on Webster that's up the hill that abuts that, like,
Yeah,
Avery.
Avery. I get in trouble every time because I try to pull up next to that field because I can't get up that hill easily.
Uh-huh.
And there's a handicap parking spot, but the building tries to say that they own it and you can't park in it even if you have a handicap placard. Is there any waiver that we can get for cars to park for parents or elderly people that can't walk up that hill? Because that's like quite the pitch.
It is. I think it's actually it's a private lot. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. It's because you can enter through Highland and exit. I think it's that private driveway.
Right.
So-
So I come up
and-
that driveway and those people are like in that building are trying to say that they're gonna like tow and stop letting,
Yeah,
softball
it's
teams
private.
play.
oh, that's not nice. Oh.
But
But
it's-
they can't tow a handicapped car with the placard. It's against the law.
Oh,
Did you not know
So-
that? You
Well,
can't
yeah,
get towed.
they've gotten in my face before when I've tried to park in that. So I just I would love like a solve for that because I don't want to be that person who's on the commission who gets in trouble for.
Well, it is
parking.
private property
well,
though.
is
It's
this,
private property.
the
So it's
parking
like
spot
you
has a
parking
sign,
at-
a handicap? But they tell you can't park there?
Yeah, but can you privatize a handicap spot? And then, okay, so if
No.
you don't have a handicap spot, then I think I should be able to park on the edge of the driveway, but they get all mad.
So I'm just thinking like, say like, at some of the, let's see, like the Kendrick's private property, they have handicap spots. But it's not open to the public.
Okay.
But they can't tow a handicapped vehicle because that person has no way of getting home. The vehicle is their vessel to get home. So, I'll look into it to
Okay.
see, is it private? Is it open to the public? You know what I mean? They might be making their own rules up too. So let me see. It does have public access. I mean, it's not a closed gate. It's open. So let me look around and see what I can do.
All right. Okay, thanks, everybody. I posted that thing on like 5 different pages, so hopefully.
Oh,
we'll get
great.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye
thanks.
bye. Everybody have a good day. Have
Yes.
a good day.
Right, bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye bye.